Hi guys, welcome back to Wentworth Life, the YouTube channel that talks all about your favourite TV show, Wentworth. If you're new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button right now for all future updates, and if you stick around until the end of the video, I shall be responding to some of your amazing comments from a previous video. And just before we get started, I just have to give a massive shout out to Lady Parts TV Vlog. They run a fantastic YouTube channel, and every year they do their own episode reviews on Wentworth. I have personally been watching these videos for years, every single year, and I absolutely love them. So if you love Wentworth review videos, then head over and take a look. It is Lady Parts TV Vlog, and I will leave a link in the description box for you. Okay, so it is that time of the week where we all get excited to see the new episode of Wentworth. Tomorrow is episode 3. So let's just take a look at some of the episode guides, shall we? So we have this one here. So the episode is actually called Enemy of the State. So just before I jump in, there was like apparent episode title leaks. I even posted a video about it myself. But unfortunately, guys, some crazy fan made up those titles, so they're not all kosher. I think 1 or 2 scripts did officially get leaked over Twitter by mistake, but the rest of the episodes guides, they're probably not true. They're all coming up with completely different titles, completely different to what they were supposed to be. So kind of makes it exciting though, doesn't it? Because we don't actually know what's coming. So anyway, this episode is called Enemy of the State. So this week, new arrival Judy Bryant is welcomed into the prison family with open arms when she is instrumental in forcing prison management to change the food supplier. The women admire her for anti-establishment stance, support the Wentworth underdog, and courage of her convictions. Frustrated by Anne's refusal to supply Reb's HRT drugs, Lou takes more and more desperate action to help Reb get his testosterone. Meanwhile, Mari confronts her demons and has an epiphany. That sounds quite interesting. We've got over on the Fox Showcase official website, Enemy of the State, and young British WikiLeaker Judy Bryant is remanded to Wentworth facing charges of stealing secrets from the Australian government. Is she a hero of the people or an enemy of the state? Very, very interesting. So the guides are basically focusing on the new character Judy Bryant. She is going to be a big new character who I think is going to cause quite a bit of mayhem at Wentworth. I don't think she's a bad guy. I think she's going to be one of the good guys. And I think she's going to become really good friends with Boomer and Ali. So let's just have a quick look at some of these photos that have been released for tomorrow's episode. So once again, not much has been revealed apart from Judy Bryant's arrival, and it's looking like in some of the photos that Judy and Ali are holding some sort of meeting with the women. Could this possibly be the start of a protest? But I think most importantly, guys, they are keeping everything under lock and key in regards to Ferguson's storyline. So I think there's going to be a few shocks in tomorrow's episode, so they're keeping it all under wraps. So there's also a magazine article that goes on to talk a bit more about Judy, and basically it's just saying that Judy Bryant's crime is it's one of a kind. Apparently she walks in with secrets that are rattling those that are in power and prison and government. So basically Judy is a young activist charged with stealing and publishing government secrets on a WikiLeaks style website. She arrives as a little bit of a celebrity. All the women have seen her on TV, so they think that she is basically like a little bit of a celeb. But Judy knows that she's in danger. She might have a lot of support, public support on the outside, which I think we'll see when she's coming into the prison. But she arguably has the most powerful enemies, and this includes the US and Australian governments, but specifically the US Secretary of Defence and the Australian National Security Organisation. So Judy is a mixed heritage, the only child of a Nigerian father and a white British mother. She's Oxford educated and the daughter of a famous Conservative MP. So Wentworth is a completely different world for her compared to the extremely privileged background that she's been used to. So that definitely sounds interesting, and I mean it goes on to say that it's not long before Judy is stirring up trouble in the prison, persuading top dog Ali to demand the prisoners go on a hunger strike to protest about the quality of food being served in jail. So those photos where they're having a meeting is definitely something to do with going on strike. And it then goes on to say that the pot Judy wants to stir hasn't gone unnoticed by the prison's new general manager, Anne Reynolds, who quickly finds a way to silence the newbie. But what secrets does Judy hold that Anne is so worried about? Very, very interesting. And then also in the magazine article, we've got a bit about Mari and Ruby. So last week, obviously, Mari tried to top herself. So is she gonna have like a bit of an epiphany, like it says in the episode guides, and she's gonna become this new girl? Let's have a look. So time may have passed, but Mari Winter's grief over the loss of her son Danny is undiminished, and now that she knows that Ruby Mitchell was responsible, her desire for revenge is razor sharp, no matter what the cost. So Mari is basically, she's not at peace with what happened and believes that killing Ruby may relieve her of guilt. She blames herself for leading Danny down a certain pathway that ultimately led to his death. And although Mari has had some time in protection away from the other inmates, Ruby knows she still has a big target on her back. Ruby is wary of Mari, but sees something has changed in her. It will take a lot for Ruby to trust her, because Mari is a champion manipulator, as we all know. But also, as well as worrying, as basically about Ruby now, but as well as Ruby worrying about her own safety, Ruby's dad is in poor health, and she's finding it hard to cope without her sister Rita to turn to. So basically, it goes on to say that Ruby is the apple of her father's eye, and she won't be able to get over not being able to be by his side. And the situation is also made worse because Rita can't be with him either. And the thought of her father being on his own is really tearing Ruby apart. So interesting. So will Ruby get like a temporary release to go and visit her dad in hospital? And not only that, who is in hospital? Ferguson. She's going to be in hospital with that massive head injury, using the name Kath Maxwell. Will they come face to face? I mean, I don't think they've ever met. I don't know if any of their time crossed over. I'm pretty sure Ferguson was out in the box at that point when Ruby arrived. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, Ruby will know who Ferguson is because of everything that she's heard and the photos that was on TV while Ferguson was on the run and things. But yeah, but not only that, we've got Ruby going on the outside. She's got to be careful because there's people after Rita. But anyway, what I found interesting about the article was obviously, you know, Rita and Ruby's dad is in hospital. Ferguson's in hospital, so like I said, I think that Ruby may come face to face with the Freak. But with Rita being in the protection at the moment, could Ruby be kidnapped? Before being brought back to Wentworth? And then it might also be treated that she's escaped, and then Rita will go and try and save her sister. I think that might happen, because I'm sure we've read in a magazine article that Ruby will end up shooting somebody and getting rid of the evidence. And will this mean that Rita does this to protect Ruby, and at this point she's crossed the line again? Will she end up back behind bars permanently? Very interesting. I think this storyline is going to bring Rita back full time, definitely. So I think tomorrow we are in for a full packed episode with Judy's story and Ferguson's story. There's also a fight scene coming up involving Luke Kelly and Ali. I'm not sure if this happens in tomorrow's episode. Like I said, they're keeping a lot of things under wraps. But in a few of a lot of the trailers we've seen recently, we've got a lot coming up. So yes, tomorrow's episode is going to be jam-packed. Also, will this be the episode where Vera, Jake and Will learn that Ferguson is alive? I have a feeling it could happen at the end of tomorrow night's episode. Just a little feeling. But let me know in the comments box below, what do you think is going to happen in tomorrow night's episode? Do you think the Freak will be back in teal by the end of tomorrow's episode? Let me know in the comments box below. And speaking of comments, it's now time for some comment replies. So we have Linda Robinson. Vera, Jake and Will need to be extra careful with the Freak, and I don't trust Anne either. Please don't end up on the wrong side of the bars. It's interesting that you say that, Linda. I've got a feeling Vera at some point will end up on the wrong side of the bars. I think Ferguson will drag her down, and Jake will be left holding the baby. But Ferguson, being the master manipulator, should be able to control Jake and Will, and poor Vera will be on the wrong side of the bars. Because let's face it, Vera's life is kind of perfect at the moment, so Ferguson just wants to destroy her, and what better way than to get her behind bars with her? Although it'd be pretty cool, because Vera has huge respect from the women after the siege, so it would be interesting. But anyway, Linda, thank you for your comment. And we have Callie Cockett. Is it Callie Cockett 101? Wait, is it on Wednesday now instead of Tuesday? Tired of the constant messing around with the scheduling. I can just let you know, it's only on a Wednesday in the UK. In Australia, it's on a Tuesday. So yeah, that is what that is about. So nope, don't worry, if you're in Australia, it's going to be on a Tuesday. If you're in the UK, it will be on a Wednesday. Thank you for your comment. And we have James Windle. OMFG, I can't wait. This is insane. I didn't think they'd catch up with Joan so quickly, did you? I'm sure there's a lot more twists ahead. Well, thank you, James, for your comment. I wasn't too sure. I was thinking by the end of episode 2, where nothing much has happened in terms of the Ferguson storyline. So something needed to happen by the end of episode 2. Otherwise, it's just going to be Ferguson on the outside stalking Vera. And we had that back in season 6 with that other woman. So yeah, I think they needed a twist to bring the storyline around, and now we have no idea what's next. So it's going to be very interesting, and I think there's going to be a lot of twists ahead. So thank you for your comment, James. Amy Jo Michael, I think maybe Anne Reynolds might be paid off by the Freak, aka Ferguson. Or she is, plot twist, the Freak's daughter, or sister maybe, lol. They kind of look alike, so I do not trust her at all. Vera's baby is going to get taken, and the mama bear in Vera is going to come out. I agree with you, Amy, and I really cannot wait for Mama Bear Vera to come out. Do not push Vera over that edge, because I can just see her going full bunter. But yes, I do not trust Anne Reynolds whatsoever. I think we've got a massive shock coming with Anne Reynolds. There's going to be a massive twist. And I can't wait to see Anne's backstory. So like a lot of the new characters get a few episode flashbacks of their past. I'm looking forward to seeing Anne Reynolds, and like I said, I think we are in for a massive shock. Something that we have not seen coming. So yes, thank you, Amy, for your comments. And we have Hoo Hoo Coco. I can't wait for everybody's reaction when they find out that the freak is alive, especially Jake, Will and Vera and Ali. Hopefully this will happen in episode 3. Yes, well, I think it could happen by the end of tomorrow night's episode. And then I think the freak will be heading back in episode 4. But yeah, I think definitely somehow tomorrow she will be discovered alive. It's going to be very interesting. But like I said, they're keeping really, really quiet about Ferguson's storyline for tomorrow. So that means something big is definitely happening. So thank you, Hoo Hoo Coco, for your comment. And yeah, thank you all for your comments. You're all amazing, so keep them coming. So there we are, guys. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget, we also have a private Facebook group. And if you'd like to join, I will leave a link in the description box beneath this video with all my other personal links. So thank you all for watching, guys. Enjoy tomorrow's episode, and I will be seeing you all very soon.